But Curtis Blaydes got a first round TKO in 15 seconds. Tom Aspinall threw a leg kick. It seemed to land effectively, but it seemed like he was a little off balance. Maybe he was a little too far forward, and he was like he was falling backwards. And whenever he put his foot back down to kind of catch himself, it blew something in his knee. I did a little reading before I recorded the podcast and tried to see if I could find anything on what exactly happened, and there still aren't any official reports that I was able to put my hands on in terms of what happened to Tom Aspinall's knee. But what I do know happened to it is that he fucked it up and he couldn't continue fighting, and Curtis Blaydes got the win in front of Tom Aspinall's home crowd. And man, the risk reward benefit on leg kicks, I don't know if it's there. I mean, Anderson Silva turned his leg into spaghetti. Chris Weidman turned his leg into spaghetti. Tom Aspinall just blew his knee up like a fucking grenade went off in there. Yeah, man, the leg kicks are rough. I mean, Derek Lewis, I ain't never thrown a leg kick ever again after he saw what happened to Chris Weidman. And so, it's rough, man. Like, guys are legit taking, like, career-delaying / career-ending injuries over these fucking leg kicks. And it's typically the guys delivering the leg kicks that are taking the worst injuries. I've never seen someone take a leg kick and they just snap their shit, except Conor McGregor. Maybe some fanboys upset about that, but he got kicked and his leg snapped. I don't know what the fuck to tell you. Sorry. Fucker should have ate his Wheaties with extra calcium milk. But Curtis Blaydes, on its hair, man, got a unanimous decision over Jairzinho Rosenstring. TKO'd Chris Dawkins, TKO'd Tom Aspinall, lost to Derek Lewis, but then had 4 wins in a row, and then right then had a loss to Francis, and then had 6 wins in a row, and then lost to Francis before that. And so, I mean, come on, dude. His first fight in the UFC was against Francis Ngannou, and it was a doctor stoppage. What a motherfucking welcome fight to the UFC, my dude. And then to win 6 in a row, and then just to lose to Francis again, and then win 4 more. Homie won 10 fights in a row to people who weren't named Francis Ngannou until he ran into Derek Lewis. And then he's won 3 straight more. And so the guy's great. I mean, what he did to Alistair Overeem with them elbows was some of the most vicious shit I've ever seen in my life. So he's a threat, man. But I mean, the guys in front of him are Derek Lewis and Francis Ngannou, guys who have knocked him out. Francis has taken him out twice, and Derek. I love what Curtis Blaydes had to say whenever they asked who hit harder, Francis Ngannou or Derek Lewis, and he said that he was coherent the entire time after getting punched by Francis Ngannou, but when he got hit by Derek Lewis, he woke up in an ambulance, and so he knows who hits harder, and I think that you can kind of reach the conclusion on your own based on what he just said. And so, I don't know, I'm just a big Derek Lewis Lone Star State jock rider, so anytime I get to hear that he punches harder than Francis Ngannou, I'm going to be like, oh, my pussy's juicy. But let's see what's up with Tom Aspinall real quick. I mean, so dude's on a tear, right? I mean, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 straight wins in the UFC. TKO'd Jake Collier, TKO'd Alan Boudreaux, submitted Andrei Arlovsky, TKO'd Sergey Spivak, submitted Alexander Volkov, and then blew his knee out against Curtis Blaydes. So he's currently ranked number 6. He's got to recover his knee. He's going to come back and he's going to have to fight somebody. I mean, there are guys like Tai Tuivasa, rematch with Curtis Blaydes. Chris Dawkins fights, but Chris Dawkins has taken a couple L's. But if Sergey Pavlovich wins against Derek Lewis, that could be a fun fight. But I mean, we're gonna see how long it takes. I mean, the guy might never fight again. When it comes to this knee shit, he might have just blew everything out, and that might be the last we ever see of him. I really hope that's not the case. He's my guy. I'm a big jock rider. I have him marked down as a future champion. So that's not what I'm hoping for. I'm just speaking frankly on the severity of the situation. Um, I really hope he comes back, and I really hope to see him with gold wrapped around his waist at some point.